Today is the feast of St. James the Apostle, and he wasn't just an apostle, but he was one of those who was especially close to our Lord. If you recall, when our Lord goes up the mountain and is transfigured, it's three apostles that he brings with him, James and his brother John, as well as Peter. Those three same apostles would also be present with our Lord on the night of his betrayal after the Last Supper, when our Lord goes to the Garden of Gethsemane and has his agony in the garden. It's those three apostles, Peter, James, and John. So these three were especially close to our Lord, and some speculate that it's for this reason that James and John have the boldness to ask our Lord to sit one on his left and one on his right. Now, in today's gospel reading, it's actually the mother of James and John who asks on their behalf, but maybe they asked her to ask on their behalf. In the other Gospels, it's not the mother of James and John, but James and John asking themselves. And notice how our Lord, he addresses James and John. Are you able to drink the cup that I am about to drink? And they say, yes, we are. So he's addressing them, so it's clearly something that they desired, not just something his mother desired for them. Now, notice how the other apostles, when they hear of this, they're angry with the two brothers. Like, you shouldn't be asking for this. And it's also possible that they themselves wanted to be higher than the others. So maybe they wanted to be on the right hand and on the left hand of our Lord. But notice our Lord, he doesn't get angry. He doesn't criticize them for this. In fact, he says, when it comes to greatness, when you think of worldly rulers like the Gentiles, well, those who are in positions of authority, those who are really great, they lord it over the others. They use their authority for their own advantage, and they just, it's all about themselves. But he says that true greatness in the kingdom of heaven is the opposite of that. True greatness in the kingdom of heaven is being at the service of others. True greatness means manifesting love. True greatness means possessing a very high degree of love. And it's this degree of love that is going to determine our place in heaven. So it's important to emphasize that our Lord does not criticize them for seeking a high place. It's almost like he's encouraging them and encouraging us to seek a high place in heaven. But if we want that high place, we must be filled with great love. Love of God first and foremost. Secondly, love of neighbor. Now, our Lord points out, to be on his right and on his left, it's not for him to decide. We can only speculate. Our Lady is on his right side because she is the one who had the greatest love. She's conceived immaculate. She's without any stain of sin. We can speculate that St. Joseph next to Our Lady would have had the greatest love for Christ. So he's probably on the left side. After that, it's all speculation. We don't know. But it's important to realize that our degree of glory in heaven can vary dependent upon our level of love. And the ideal is that we strive to aim high. I mentioned before, I've heard people say, I just hope to squeeze into purgatory. Not a good idea. Or I just hope to squeeze into heaven. No, most of us will probably have to spend some time in purgatory, but the problem is when we aim low, we usually fall short of what we aim for. So the ideal is we aim high, and then we will be much higher than what we would be otherwise. So aim high, so aim to love, and ask God to help you to love and to manifest love in your day-to-day dealings with the people in your life.